YouTube, what is up? It's AD with ussquads. I hope you guys are having a kick-ass day. Today we are talking about optics. We are going to give you an unbox and a quick preview of a scope we've been waiting for since we saw it at SHOT Show. So this is the Vortex Razer HD AMG. This is a precision rifle scope, first focal plane, 6x24x50. It's a lightweight precision rifle scope coming in at about 2 pounds. I think the correct weight is 1.8 pounds to be precise. So we're going to show you this scope. We've been waiting for it for a while. So basically what I'm going to do, guys, is just give you a quick unbox. We'll give you some detailed views around the scope. I'm actually going to be mounting this scope on my buddy's hunting rifle. So tracking tests, reviews, all that stuff might come a little bit later, but this isn't going to be reviewing how it tracks, how well it works, this and that. This is a pretty much one of Vortex's highest end scopes. I think MSRP on it's $3,700. Street price is $2,300 to $2,500. So this isn't, Vortex doesn't mess around. So we're gonna assume that it tracks, it works, it has great clarity. All those things are gonna be assumed at this point. But we'll put it on, and if I can do an update on the description, I will. If I get behind my buddy's gun after we go hunting in South Africa, I'll be looking through it. So let's kind of give you a tour of what's happening here. We got the box here, which is a nice black box. So here we go, Razer HD AMG, 6x24x50, first focal plane, VIP warranty, made in the US with a German reticle. So one thing to note, Vortex took a leap and created a facility to make scopes. So this is, with the exception of the German reticle, this is 100% made in the US. So here's the reticle. It's you can get this in two configurations, MOA or in mils. I shoot in mils, my buddy shoots in MOA. Tomato tomato. Okay, so we're going to show you guys what's in the box in a second. Really quick is I want to touch base on the whole made in the USA thing. So the Vortex Gen 2 is made in Japan. I believe their Viper lines made in the Philippines, and their Crossfire line, which is Vortex's entry-level scopes, are made in China. So scopes typically aren't made in the USA. You take Schmidt and Bender and Leica and whatever, they're made in Europe. You take Nikon, Nightforce, SWFA, they're made in Asian countries. And then the cheap stuff usually comes out of China. So here's an SWFA, first focal plane 3x15, SS model. This is made in Japan. What's holding up the box, don't laugh, is a Nightforce 7x35 F1. Pretty beefy scope. Also made in Japan. So when we get to the markings on the bottom of the scope, it should say USA. So let's get to it. Alright, so in the box, we're going to have we're going to check out the packaging here. Lift this up, and we have our user manuals and our reticle manual. So these high-end scopes, they have usually two pieces of material. One, you're going to get your rifle scope material here to just explain how the scope works, how to set up your zero stop, where it's made, this and that. And then usually what you'll get is a manual explaining the subtensions on your reticle. Okay, so it'll explain how thick the lines are, and if you were to measure this and that, and how to do some math. So to find ranges, all sorts of fun stuff. So this is good reading material if you're curious. We're gonna get a Vortex sticker, AMG. Ooh, I didn't even. So yeah, that's Q. Like it says AMG on the bottom in silver, different. And then you're gonna get a little attention. Properly mount your scope. Don't exceed 18 inch-pounds. Well, that's not really gonna happen if you have different rings. That might work for these Leopold rings, but if you have these arc rings, it's like 40 inch-pounds, and then it won't damage your scope as long as you install it correctly. Spur mounts require 25 inch-pound on the ring, so this warning is applicable to assuming that you're using Vortex rings or well, I think Vortex rings are Seek and Precision rings, are made by Seek and Precision. So inside the box we have a few things. We have some caps. I'm not sure who makes these caps. These are probably just Vortex caps. I personally don't use them because I find them annoying. Defender caps, okay, whatever. Rear and front. If you want to look at it real quick, that's pretty much that. They're kind of plastic and I don't know, whatever. I've never used them. So one battery, I'm guessing it's a CR2032 battery. It is, for your illumination, because this is an illuminated scope with 10 settings. Cleaning cloth, pretty standard with Vortex, just a microfiber cloth. A little tool to access your turrets, a little Allen key in there, so you can mess with your turrets and set those up. And then a sunshade, all nicely packaged in foam. So anodized sunshade to match the exact color of your AMG scope. Yeah, here we go. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna put this scope down on the box for a second while we just quickly talk about some of the features. Okay, so I'm gonna read off my little paper here. With it being kind of Vortex's high-end scope, you can assume that's gonna have all the goodies, and it does. So it's gonna be waterproof, dustproof, shockproof. It's gonna have HD low dispersion HD glass, LTEC locking turrets, 10 illumination settings. It's going to have zero stop. It's going to be lightweight, 1.8 pounds, 30 millimeter tube. So when you buy your rings, if you're looking at this particular scope, you're buying not 1-inch rings, you're buying 30 millimeter rings. And there are a lot of great rings out there, companies that make good rings. So decide on what you want to spend. You can buy Seek and Precision rings or Vortex rings, or you can step up and spend a shit ton of money on a spur mount and or arc rings. It's up to you, man. It's your money, whatever you feel that'll best suit you. I've honestly used all sorts of rings, and sometimes a set of $40, $50 rings, Seek and Precision rings, work just perfectly fine. But of course, I'm a nut job and I like to spend all my excess money on really expensive shit for no reason. Let's not go there, right? All right, first focal plane reticle, that's designed in Germany, and then it's hard anodized. It's supposed to have armor tech on there, super durable, super, I don't know, whatever. VIP warranty from Vortex. This warranty is probably one of the best in the business. I actually had a friend have one of these. It fell off his saddle pack while he was hunting with his horse, and it like broke in 19 pieces because it hit rocks, and Vortex replaced it. I actually used Vortex's warranty recently. I have a Gen 2 1x6. I took through a 3-gun match and I broke it, and I sent it in and they fixed it. It's nice. Their warranty is pretty kick-ass. So you can see that the scope isn't like super big and beefy. 30 millimeter tube, 50 millimeter objective lens, but let's take a closer look at this. 4x16 magnification, no, 4x24, right? 4x24 magnification. Thing to note too is parallax starts at 25 yards. So those who want to use this expensive scope for their 22 matches, you can focus down to 25 yards and to infinity, right? Pop this out. Here's your illumination setting. You'll have 10 settings, I believe, and then in between each number shuts off your illumination, so you can quickly get to it and quickly shut it off. But so you don't, once it's off in the middle of the numbers, push that in so it doesn't accidentally turn on, right? So you don't drain your batteries. LTAC turrets will pop out. Watch this. Pops out. Windage and elevation. As you can see, my buddy's scope is in MOA, so each click is quarter MOA. Right, that's 1 MOA. 5 MOA. Now I'm going to put this next to the microphone so you can hear how awesome and how tactile the turrets are. Can you hear that? Really great positive clicks. Turrets aren't too obnoxiously big. They got some knurling on the top, machined in there. So remember, the scope is 100% made in the USA. Pretty cool. with the German reticle, don't forget. Okay. So very tactile. You have 50mm objective lens, high dispersion HD glass. I have poked around and looked out my front yard. It's very clear. One of the complaints on the Gen 2 was people had a hard time with the eye box on that Gen 2. Interesting if that's particularly any type of problem on this AMG. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to check it out once we mount it. See the laser etching. So it looks like a very high quality, really nice scope, and you're paying for it. It's not cheap. Zero stop, of course, is a feature that's in here. LTAC turrets, you can push those down. Typically you're not going to mess with your windage, so okay. So another thing that's a little different is this locking ring here is designed for you to adjust your diopter, right? And then you want to use this ring to lock it down. Some scopes have the adjustment right on the end, like this SWFA has it on the end here, but that's not quite the case here. So when you get your scope, typically what you'll do is you'll look into a blue sky, loosen this ring up a bit, turn that till the reticle is perfectly clear, and then lock this down. Okay, that's how you'd set that up. So that's pretty much it, guys.